Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and today we're going to be talking about Brian Armstrong's tweet and article from Coinbase saying that staking is not a security.
Yeah, dude. Armstrong's our white knight in shining armor for
this is, we've said that in the past.
What,
before.
he needs to be our white knight?
No, well,
or that he is our white knight.
He is.
Well, I guess when FTX was like in collapse, it's like, can we really trust this guy?
Yeah.
Like we had to really, because he was out there, you know, doing what's expected, right? You know, after Sam was, you know, uncovered as being total fraudster, he had to go on his little press tour of his own and be like, dude, that's not me.
That's not us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not us. So we're like, we have to trust Brian, dude, because he's the last real reliable on and off ramper, at least for the United States, right? Yeah. So here he is again, dude. He's taking up the cause. You know, Kraken, they just got hit. So we were speculating ourselves, like, what about Coinbase? Why are they not getting, you know, their staking as a service platform shut down?
Let's talk about Kraken for a little bit here. So in this tweet from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, today we charge Kraken with failing to register the offer and sale of their crypto assets staking as a service program where investors transfer crypto assets to Kraken for staking in exchange for advertised annual investment returns of as much as 21%.
Okay.
So I think Ethereum only offers like anywhere between 4 and 6%. So yeah, where are they getting the difference from?
Well, then if you just read that statement alone, then that has to be I guess the nail in the coffin, right? Because they said they didn't register their staking as a service program. So Coinbase has one as well. Yeah. A lot of these exchanges have these staking as a service program. So is that the thing that they're attacking here, the SEC?
So it seems like it is not, because in a quote from SEC, it says Kraken not only offered investors outsized returns untethered to any economic realities, but also retained the right to pay them no returns at all.
Okay.
So this implies to me that they're not really directly staking it into Ethereum. Or maybe, you know, they're talking about just staking as a service. So we're assuming that it's Ethereum. Yeah. But that's probably not all that they were doing.
Does the rewards like on Ethereum, like if you're to validate or become a validator on your own, does that fluctuate?
It does.
Okay, so it's not like some sort of like pre-programmed. This is the distributed allocation here. So, but the fact that it got as high as 21%, I guess, was the red flag. I don't think Ethereum.
But you know what? This has nothing to do with Ethereum, because there are some cryptos that do get you higher than 6%. Like I think Tezos gets you like 8 or 10% or something like that.
So so we're talking about strictly Kraken here, but whenever you stake into Coinbase, so Kraken, I guess they just needed to disclose, like, hey guys, look, you're locking up your funds to us, and then there's, like you're saying, different chains we could support, different ecosystems we could leverage this liquidity just to also stake on your behalf, and because of that, like, earnings might be up one month as opposed to another, or I don't know, maybe zero. Like if they make a fatal flaw and invest in like a rug chain or something, right? I don't know. I don't see that as like I guess as long as they disclose that to the people who are actually staking, right?
Yeah, as long as they
know the risks.
And as a matter of fact, Kraken is still running their staking program just outside the United States. So, I mean, is anyone really protected outside the United States? It doesn't seem so. Yeah. So then we have Coinbase coming out with an article just recently. I think it was on February 10th, so just a few days ago. And it explains what staking is, and how staking, specifically in Ethereum, since it's a proof of stake protocol, you're contributing to the security of the network by staking. Yeah. Now you can either host your own node or leverage service providers that have nodes like Lido, which is an ecosystem of decentralized contributors, or Coinbase.
Yeah. I liked Brian Armstrong's stance, like that he took on Twitter, and I guess allegedly he's in Washington as we speak, right? So he's literally frontiering this somehow. Yeah, he probably has like the biggest like entourage with him. He's just like straight up G status at the moment. He's like, I'm here, guys. Do something about it. I don't know. It's what it feels like. Oh, dude, there it is. There's his entourage, dude. Yep. Highest paid like lawyers probably in America. Right. So he's out here. He's on a crusade to defend the notion behind staking. Like you're saying, it's a utility service that supports an ecosystem, right? Without it,
you don't have Ethereum
or all the other layer ones that exist and
right.
stuff like this. So he brings up the Howey Test, right? Which is kind of like you have to. That's the only thing we got to combat the SEC, right? Because
it's funny in this article. Obviously, he brings up the Howey Test, but he also states like. Well, actually, who wrote this? It was Paul Graywall. Mm-hmm. He says that there's a good point here that maybe we need to look at something that happened in 1933 with the Howey Test, or I think it was 46, something like that.
Yeah,
and reevaluate whether it still applies to today's environment.
That seems to be like a reoccurring sentiment. Like a lot of these old laws get they're formulated in a whole different time.
Yeah.
Right. Like you even go back to
completely different planet. It feels like.
Correct. Even I guess people argue very constitutional documents that formed this country. Right. It's as if you launch a DAO, and then you stick to the origin DAO structure 100, 200 years down the line, as if nothing changed. From those points and differences. But nonetheless, laws are important, and structure and order, even being rigid in that stuff, that's foundational, right? That's how we, as a civilization, are able to, I guess, align with something, right? Yeah. So that's why it's so hard to change and challenge these things. But I mean, fuck, dude, I think maybe it's time.
I think it is. I think even trying to figure out if somebody's an accredited investor just by having $1 million, that doesn't mean that they're savvy.
Correct.
Right, so anyone can be savvy. You don't need $1 million to be a savvy investor, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So he explains what staking is, and then explains, and asks, is staking a security?
Yeah, this is the most important question to be asking right now.
Yeah, and they go through all the points. Like, for example, first, staking servers do not constitute an investment of money.
That's all I needed to read.
Yeah.
And I just started thinking about that. Hold on a second, dude, he's right.
Yeah, if you stake ETH into the staking protocol, you don't get anything in return.
That's right. Yeah, if you go back to Howie, right? The what was it, an orange farm or something like that?
Yeah.
You go back to that scenario, right? Howie, people weren't just locking up their dollars, right? They were purchasing plots of his land, right? So there was an exchange there from one asset value to another.
Yes.
So that's an investment contract made between the two parties. So yeah, with the act of staking, there's no exchange there. It's just one side's locking up, and then there's a return, and because there's actually utility to that lockup.
Yeah, so you're providing a service, a security service.
Yeah, dude, this should be way more obvious, cut and dry than what it is.
but then again, the SEC has a point. If a centralized entity is not doing specifically staking into a protocol, then they need to disclose, and they're going to get a hit with a fine if they don't do that.
True. So I guess potentially they don't really have. I don't think they do have an issue with staking, right?
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. It's more like the entities that are kind of forming around the staking, as a utility aspect to securitize or not, adding security layers to these protocols.
Yeah,
now you kind of inject some sort of muddying of that process, right?
Sure.
Which needs regulatory oversight.
Yeah,
right. That's probably their position. As proven by Kraken and others, these things just naturally start to happen.
We need to reevaluate library, though, because they were also hit by the SEC for selling securities and the library token.
We definitely need to reevaluate why they came to that conclusion. Because they had an ICO or what?
I think, because they had an ICO.
Okay.
But then there's so many
everybody
projects.
had an ICO. Yeah. Why hit library, dude? What did they do wrong?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, I don't know.
I do like how they just, now that they're dead, they just exist on Twitter to talk shit about the SEC.
Yeah.
That's probably the best outcome of that. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So what do you think, dude? Is Coinbase at risk? Why are they fighting so hard right now? To me, that indicates something is...
Well, somebody needs to fight back. I mean, if SEC is starting to breach a position in a war... you gotta put a line. It's you can't go beyond this line at least.
Yeah, these are like their Chinese balloons, like the SECs.
Yeah.
Like they're just letting the world know it's like, dude, we're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Right. And somebody's got to go shoot those balloons down, dude. That's Coinbase, I guess.
For sure. Yeah.
Why not? Do they have the means to do that? They are leading in this position. They have a huge stake in the validator network, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want to lose that. I think they have like a 12% or something, roughly 10 to 12% in the overall Ethereum validator network stake.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's massive. Yeah. So, I mean, I would fight for that too.
Yeah, and to kind of finish off here, second, staking services do not meet a common enterprise.
Okay.
So it says stakers are only connected by blockchain technology, and they validate transactions through a community of users, not a common enterprise. So everyone is just contributing to the security of the network, right? There isn't a common enterprise to which you are depending on generating some sort of yield.
Yeah. Interesting. So they're defending every single prong.
Yeah.
Which is, there you go, dude. Some good lawyers they got.
Yeah. And then it says, staking services fail to meet Howey's reasonable expectation of profits. An asset based on the prospects of a return on investment or a desire to use or consume the item purchased. Staking rewards are simply payments for validation services. Yeah, so by contributing your ETH, you're providing a security service, and then you're getting paid for providing that security service.
Yeah. So the only difference is that a user who stakes on their own may need to buy a dedicated computer and pay to keep it running. So that's why, like, apparently, because I've never staked myself, but there's like, it lets you know, on Coinbase at least, like, hey, man, we're going to take your money, and we're getting like 6% over here by contributing to like the validator process. But we're only going to give you 4%. We're going to keep the 2% because guess what? We're the ones hosting all this like hardware.
That's right.
Components, because like you said, it's not magic.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably think it is. It's just like, dude, lock up money and like everything's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For a while, that's how I thought it worked. It's just, I don't know, dude. Like people are locking up money, so
yeah.
Therefore, nobody wants to lose that money.
It's still a blockchain, right? So you're still connecting blocks together, right? And so a computer needs to link the blocks together.
Correct.
And so the way that Bitcoin does that is that it makes it progressively harder and harder the more miners are involved.
Yeah.
But with proof of stake, it eliminates all that difficulty and just makes it easy. So when you're generating a hash value to link these two blocks together, that hash value that links them is very easy to calculate versus Bitcoin is very hard to calculate.
Yeah, which requires like a
more computational
energy,
power.
Right?
That's right, more energy.
So that's where the cost comes in. And
that's
like the proof of anything is like whoever is
the first one to figure it out,
or whoever is aggregating this much computational power, like deserves that reward.
Exactly,
because they're contributing that much to the process of validating stuff.
Right, and proof of stake, everyone gets a turn. Right, we're all contributing. We're all nodes. We all get a turn in like processing transactions.
Correct.
And then yeah, that's how it works. So when it's your turn, your computers churn, right? They're running.
Yeah.
And it's very easy. It's very cheap. It doesn't take a lot of electricity, and then you get your ETH rewards.
So that's where Coinbase is getting all this, 4 to 6%.
Yeah.
Of yield to pay back their stakers.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're just leveraging all the liquidity, I guess, of their user base. It's like, come on, man, let's help Ethereum out, dude. It's like we'll build the infrastructure layer, and then we'll just service you, right? Yeah. And then I think come on, man.
Yeah,
that's not that bad. Like, what's so bad about this?
Yeah,
how's this even under attack, really? Well, I mean, I guess if you get scrolly with it, like Kraken did,
yeah,
I could see.
Yeah,
but so
I think
why does this matter?
Coinbase is just drawing a line. I was like, okay. Right, the SEC is going after projects and companies for violating securities laws based around staking. Well, staking itself is not a security.
No, not at all, dude. If I were Brian, I'd be in Washington too, sipping on my coffee in their cafes, just letting my presence be known. Yeah, like I'm not scared.
It's like I'm waiting.
This shit's easy. Like we got this, dude. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. And I don't know what does that mean? Like tomorrow we're gonna see him on C-SPAN or some shit or what?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, this is important. I mean, we can't have Ethereum be looked at as a security because it would be detrimental to all of crypto progress.
That would ruin everything. Like only for the United States. It wouldn't change anything for Ethereum. It just means everything that's happening in the United States is realm.
Yeah.
Moving offshore. Which
exactly. That's one of their points, is that we can't allow the SEC to like make everything a security, because then all the companies would just like move offshore.
Peace, dude. Yeah, we're not gonna give up.
Yeah.
Just because the United States government can't like, I don't know, get their fingers off of everything.
Right.
Like, dude, just chill out, dude. Staking, come on, man. We're not talking about anything like societal breaking here.
Yeah.
Like, this is all useful stuff.
It's not treason.
Treason. Like terrorism, like for sure. Like this is some sort of terrorist thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing this battle play out, because we need no more grayness, dude. Like we need definitive, this is cool, this is not cool, so it's time to bring this.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think the SEC is going to take on Brian on any of this stuff, because they know they would lose, right? This is obvious. And so they can't afford to publicly lose on anything. So I don't think they're going to press on this particular issue. So
then we shouldn't expect Coinbase to have their staking as a service platform removed, I would think.
No, I don't think so.
Because that's not really what's an issue. I mean, as long as they might maybe have like a pause in order for the right like disclosures to come about. And then it's like, okay, here's come stake, and then here's the SEC disclosure agreement.
I wonder if they have to disclose anything if it's not a security, as long as they're not doing anything squirrely with the token. Now, if they are, they would have to do disclosures, because they're by default it is a security. Yeah,
we'll see. So, but if somehow Coinbase does lose this and they do have to remove their 12% validator stake, then it's very bullish for Lido and other like liquid staking derivatives, right? Because there's a lot of low cap versions of that. So if Coinbase gets yacked, then we're definitely going to have to find those and speculate, right? Because I mean, that liquidity has to go somewhere,
right? It's definitely going to go to the decentralized networks.
Exactly. Which
so they support tons of ecosystems: Solana, Polygon, Ethereum, Polkadot, Kusama. We need to revisit Polkadot and Kusama, dude.
We've been saying that for so long.
Yeah, we got audience members asking us like, when Polkadot.
We're sorry. We're so sorry, dude. There's just a lot to look at, man. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
So just to give you a context, how Lido works is you stake any amount of your tokens to access daily staking rewards, and then receive liquid ST tokens and start to receive rewards in real time. And use your ST tokens across DeFi to compound more to your daily staked rewards.
Okay. Interesting.
See, this might get squirrely, but
how
do you earn tokens and then, well, I guess you could.
What?
You could do that. So you earn ST tokens and then you go into the DeFi ecosystem to like restake or something.
Or to provide some other service?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. We'll have to watch this one play out, but it starts with Coinbase, so nonetheless, I think this is all very bullish.
Damn, look at all these audits, dude. Remember when this was like 2017 and this was
You gotta go off a bit.
Yeah. This was 2017 and all these projects are getting audited.
Yeah.
For their smart contracts.
Yeah.
Look at all this. Chain security, state mined. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, audits are important, so. But yeah, so this is a sector to pay attention to, just regardless anyways, because proof of stake is here to stay. I don't think it matters what the SEC says about it. So people who are locking up liquidity to support these networks, they still want access to that liquidity, right? So
it's important.
Well, yeah. It's like I still want to provide my contributions, right? And then generate my little micro yields. But I don't want to exclude myself from the potential, bigger yields by offering my liquidity for a different type of service. So it's interesting. I don't know. When you say it out loud, it it feels like too good to be true, but
no, man, I think it's necessary. Valid. Yeah,
this is all good.
All right. So if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below, and follow us on Twitter at the Block Runner, at MeadowZone.io, and at Rovi AI, and we will catch you in the next video.
Peace.